What up, it's your boy Drew. You might have seen a few different stories like this lately where planes are taking off and they're having problems. And if you've watched my other videos before, I explain how the 777 code is like a hoax code. And so what these stories are, they're predictive programming. For something I've talked about last year even was my Mall of America theory. I have new connections on that theory, so wait till the end for that. But let me break down what that theory is. Okay, everything to do with the Mall of America has to do with the number 5. The logo is a 5-pointed star. Even on this thing on the building, you have 5 gold leaves or whatever these are coming off of it. This is the original logo, which I've equated to the red star Kachina and blue star Kachina. And the Mall of America is owned by what's called the 555 group. They're Iranians that are based out of Canada. Even when you go to the Gematrinator, you put in the Mall of America, you get 55s across the board here. And the Mall of America is located in Bloomington, Minnesota. Again, you get 55s across the board. If you remember last year, I covered this when there was that Howie Mandel TikTok conspiracy theory that he was like being held hostage, and I showed how he writes shoe stuff on a bag. And the S's in shoe stuff are both 5s. And I showed how I thought this was about the Mall of America. Because what he did is he cut the corner of the bag, and what would you get from a mall? You get a shopping bag, right? And then there was the TikTok lady that came out and showed how when you cut the bag like that, you open it up, you get this shape. Which this happened around the time of that Wayfair gate. So she was comparing it to Wayfair, but I was saying that shape is the same shape of the Mall of America with the 4 anchor stores on each side. And also when you put Howie Mandel in the Gematrinator, you get 55s across the board again. And Howie Mandel was born in 55. And let me explain why I think the mall will be hit by an airplane, in case you missed this before. The mall was built where the old Met Stadium was. And that's where the Minnesota Twins and Minnesota Vikings used to play. So they tore this down and built the Mall of America on top of it. So in the center of the Mall of America, there's an amusement park. And they have this home plate. That's where the home plate of that stadium once stood. Right in the middle. There's also a marking for the 50-yard line when it was the Vikings inside there. So another number 5 in there. And the home plate has 5 sides. And it has a really similar shape to the Pentagon building. And the Pentagon was struck on 9/11 by American Airlines Flight 77. And the Mall of America is right here in the center and is actually located right off of Highway 77. So you have Highway 77. It's got a pentagon shape inside of the mall. And so this is the Mall of America right here in the middle. And then you can see in the top right here, that's actually the MSP airport. It's basically right across the highway from it. And if you look on the Google Maps, here's Mall of America down here. I'll scroll out a little, then the airport's right here. So it's just right across this 494 highway is the airport from the Mall of America. And so that Mall of America is there's nothing but 5s whenever I'm looking into any story about it or anything. It's just surrounded by the energy of the number 5. Like this was a big story a couple years ago. There was a kid that was 5 years old that was thrown off the 3rd floor balcony. So he was 5 years old and he was in the hospital for 5 months. So when you put in the name and middle initial of the guy that threw the kid off the balcony, you get the 5s across the board again. Pretty much all the energy of this mall is 5s. So I was looking into this one story recently that showed this mysterious pentagram that you can only see on Google Earth in Kazakhstan. And on this one website, they went and visited it. And it's just made by trees. They say it was a park. It used to be a park, but it's in the middle of nowhere. And the nearest town is 12 miles away and everything. So there's not much there right now. And here it is on Google Maps. This is the coordinates. So when you put this into Google Maps and you measure the distance from this to the Mall of America, the distance is 5,555 miles. You can't make this up. And the line that Google Maps draws goes right through the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport, all the way through to the Mall of America. I have a lot more speculation and things I'd like to share about this, but I'm going to break this series up into different parts. So stay tuned and I'll continue to bring you more updates about this and more speculation and theories. And if you're new to the channel, I do live streams here every Friday night. And feel free to join, become a member of the channel, where I do special members only call-in shows every Sunday afternoon.